The Philippine Coast Guard vessel patrolling off Zambales has pushed a Chinese ship unlawfully operating in the area further away from the province's coast. In a report on Thursday, January 30, PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea Commodore J. Tarielas said that BRP Teresa Magbanua has successfully pushed Chinese Coast Guard vessel 3304 further away from the coast of Zambales. The Chinese Coast Guard ship was estimated to be at a distance of 100 to 105 nautical miles from the province. However, the PCG noted the presence of 3 other Chinese Coast Guard vessels off Zambales. According to Tariela, the agency continues to emphasize that the Chinese vessel lacks legal authority and is violating the Philippine Maritime Zones Act, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and the 2016 Arbitral Award. On Wednesday, January 29, Tariela said BRP Teresa Magbanua issued an hourly radio challenge against the CCG vessel 3304 to assert its legal operation in the area. Beijing's continued aggression was based on its assertion of sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, as it continues to reject the 2016 arbitral ruling that effectively dismissed its claims and ruled in favor of Manila. President Bongbong Marcos clapped back at China's criticisms of the deployment of the United States Typhoon missile system to the Philippines, stating that he would be willing to have the military hardware pulled out of the country if Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea stops. In an interview in Cebu City on Thursday, January 30, Marcos addressed China's objections to the missile system, emphasizing that Manila had not commented on Beijing's much larger missile arsenal. The president then proposed a deal with China.
Let's make a deal with China. Stop claiming our territory. Stop harassing our fishermen and let them have a living. Stop ramming our boats. Stop water cannoning our people. Stop firing lasers at us. And stop your aggressive and coercive behavior. And I'll return the Typhoon missiles. Tigil nila yung ginagawa nila, pabalik ko lahat yan.
The remarks come amid ongoing tensions in the South China Sea, where China has continued its maritime assertiveness, including incidents of harassment against Filipino fishermen and Coast Guard personnel in contested waters. The Philippines has repeatedly raised concerns over China's military presence and actions in the region, which Manila deems as violations of its sovereignty. The U.S. deployed the Typhoon missile system to the Philippines in April last year as part of the Balikatan military exercises. It has stayed in the country since, drawing the ire of China, which repeatedly called for its withdrawal. It was Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning who made a call for the removal of the Typhoon missile system in response to a Reuters report saying that the U.S. had deployed its Typhoon missile launchers to a new location in the country. However, last December, Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. had already addressed China's objections, saying the missiles are not targeted against specific countries. The National Bureau of Investigation has arrested 5 more suspected Chinese spies who were allegedly monitoring Philippine Coast Guard and Philippine Navy activities in Palawan, including the resupply of troops in the West Philippine Sea. Based on the NBI surveillance and accounts of witnesses, NBI Director Jaime Santiago in a conference on Thursday, January 30, said that the group had set up high-resolution solar-powered cameras pointed at the waters of Palawan, where PCG ships pass going to and coming from the West Philippine Sea. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief General Romeo Bronner Jr. said that based on the NBI's records of the group's activities, the rotation and resupply missions may have been compromised as early as 2023. Santiago and Bronner were referring to the rotation and resupply missions for troops at Ayungin Shoal west of Palawan, which the China Coast Guard had been blocking, sometimes violently, before Manila and Beijing reached an agreement last year to prevent future confrontations. In the same conference, the NBI presented the 5 suspected spies who were identified as Kai Xiaohuang, Wang Yongyi, Wu Junren, Wu Chengting, and Chen Haitao. They were arrested separately on January 24 and 25 and are facing charges of violating Commonwealth Act No. 616 or the 1941 Anti-Espionage Law in relation to Republic Act No. 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. According to the NBI, the 5 men had been working with Deng Yuanqing, the alleged Chinese spy who was arrested on January 17 in Makati City, along with 2 Filipino cohorts. Deng and the 2 Filipinos were caught operating a device that allegedly mapped critical infrastructures of the country, including military sites and power installations. The NBI arrested Chen and Wu Chengting on January 24 at Terminal 3 of Ninoy Aquino International Airport following their morning flight from Palawan. The NBI said it received an intelligence report in November 2024 that Chen and Wu Chengting had been taking drone shots of ports and PCG and Navy ships in Palawan. According to Santiago, the two men returned to Manila to meet up with Wang and Wu Jianren, who were arrested in Intramuros and Binondo respectively later on the same day. They were supposed to receive the surveillance data or intelligence report from Chen and Wu Chengting before they were arrested. The following day, the NBI arrested Kai, who served as the group's field commander in Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental Province. Among the areas in Palawan that were monitored by the suspects were a naval detachment at Oyster Bay in Puerto Princesa, where ships heading through the West Philippine Sea sailed from, and at Kahumatan Beach, which faces the waters where these vessels would be passing through. Santiago said the group also monitored Coast Guard stations, the Antonio Bautista Air Base, the Del Pilar Class PS-16 Naval Base, and Navy dockyards. According to NBI Cybercrime Division Chief Jeremy Lotok, the suspects were able to gather information by posing as harmless members of legitimate organizations such as the Chiao Xing, a volunteer group of the Philippines, and the Philippine-China Association for the Promotion of Peace and Friendship Incorporated. Aside from Palawan, Lotok said the suspects also operated from a high-rise condominium in Metro Manila and have set up cameras powerful enough to monitor PCG ships entering and leaving Manila Bay.